Or just turn on practically any sitcom, right? Any drama, any reality TV show, and there it is, sex. And let's face it, sex sells. But my next guest says you don't have to buy into it. Wellness consultant Joanne Deck has written this book. It is called Worth Waiting For, Sane Sex for Singles. The book encourages single people to rethink today's dating model. Joanne joins us this morning as part of our book author series. Hey, Joanne, good morning to you.
Good morning, Danielle.
All right, so what is today's dating model?
Today's dating model is the way I described how sex is portrayed on television and in the movies. We start with two people meeting and being attracted to each other and moving almost immediately to physical intimacy, often in the hopes that emotional intimacy will result. And while it does on television often, it doesn't in real life very often at all. It doesn't work.
You know, it's interesting because that makes me think about what we see on TV all the time. And you know this, Joanne. I mean, every time, every channel you turn on, there's sex and there's this and that, and people are having sex very quickly. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's almost like we don't have to emulate what we see presented on television.
That's right. Unfortunately, people under 30 have grown up. Many of them don't even know they have a choice. People over 40 grew up knowing, let's wait, take our time, get to know someone. Having sex is a big deal. But we're needing to remind people of that, and that's what the book is about.
So why is it important then, and I know the answer to this, but for people who may be becoming physically intimate, right, before they become emotionally intimate, that's almost like putting the cart before the horse.
That's right. They've seen this and they think that emotional intimacy will result, but we get out of alignment. Most people they mature and want to have that emotional connection. And when you go too quickly, that you're not sure that that's going to happen.
That's not going to be the right person for you,
Absolutely.
The right situation
it's
for you.
It's easy to find someone to have sex with, but to find someone to be emotionally intimate with, that's a lot harder. So if we take our time and then we progress sexually as we progress emotionally, there's a whole range of experience that people miss out on when they jump to sex too quickly.
Yeah, that is true. You know, here's the thing. You write about this in the book, and I'm like, I have to ask her about this. How do the laws of supply and demand apply in dating?
Well, unfortunately, we're using them in the worst way with today's dating model. When people sleep with whoever they go out with, they're raising supply. When supply is high, value price is low. So what we wanted to do with the Sane Sex model is reduce supply. Let's not be sleeping with everyone we go out with, so that when we do, it becomes very special and our perceived value is increased. Studies have shown that when people use today's dating model, they don't feel high value. They feel demoralized and discouraged. It's that law of supply and demand. They feel their value is low. And it's not low.
And it's not low, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I mean, we are precious human beings,
Absolutely.
And I think as women, it's such a gift and such a treasure. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think of yourself as a diamond. When we use today's dating model, we're behaving more like a paperclip, an everyday ordinary item.
Yeah, no paper clips happening here. No, absolutely not. You know, I do want to circle back to something, though, that you said at the top, because we talked about all these images that we see in the movies and that we see on television. Is this why you wrote the book?
Well, really, it was based on what I saw out there dating. I saw people being very confused. You know, half the men I dated asked for sex on the second date, expected on the third. And as I chatted with the women at singles events, they were very discouraged and beaten down and just gave up and thought they wouldn't have a date if they didn't have sex.
It's almost like what our parents taught us when we were kids about waiting for the right one, and certainly not kind of being overly moral about it, but we kind of are now going back to that as single adults, right?
Absolutely. It was good, sound advice. Mom and Dad knew best. Take your time, get to know someone. Then when you are intimate, you know that person, you can be honest with them, you can trust them. The quality of sex is much higher.
Yeah. Well, let's again emphasize this is not a moral discussion,
exactly.
Right? So we want to make sure that viewers know that.
It's very practical. Right. That's what it's all about. Let's do what works. Today's dating model just does not work.
All right. Well, Joanne, thank you so much for coming by and sharing this with us on the show this morning. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Same here. Thank you, Danielle.
And again, the book is called Worth Waiting For, Sane Sex for Singles. For more information on Joanne or the book, please visit her website. It's joannedeck.com.